Originally, I was going to get a 5-car Sun Country. I'm like, oh, I'm going to travel all over the country, go to Alaska. I'll take the ferry over to Hawaii, whatever, And started talking to Ty. I was like, hey, you know, uh, short mile, long dollar, we're talking stuff. And I started looking more into the short stuff. And, I'm like, boy, there's these trailer companies all around my house. I have three of them, three major trailer manufacturing companies around my house. So I'm going to call them up. I mean, I'm just going to call them up, see, if they're looking for guys to haul them. Call them up. Very good rates they have. All three of them are dying for people to haul their product. Like, you know what? This might be my opportunity. So I started looking at Coffin trailers, and there's nothing to them. They're not very good quality or nothing. Looking at different types of trailers, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get somebody to put a center rail on this Sun Country. And so right now, basically, I mean, to answer your question is, I'm going to use the cargo trailers as my outbound. So now I can get trailers going to Pittsburgh. I can get trailers going to Maine. Any direction I want, whenever I want. I mean, pretty much. So, what I would, so my plan is, figure out a lane that you want to go in, and start bringing cars back from the auctions from maybe Pittsburgh, the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area, or I finding a lane that's going to work for me, and have trailers going out, have cars coming back, and maybe eventually just have cars, like see where it brings me, and like fill it out, see what happens.
And I like the way you did. You identified a niche, working with Ty. You guys talked about what's around you. How do you capitalize on that? Those cargo trailers with the center rail option you've got, that's not something everybody has. It's like when guys tell me they specialize in motorcycles. That's a great idea because not everybody does that. Somebody's got to move that cargo.
Yeah, exactly. And then another thing you got to remember too in the Northeast. I mean, Brian, or what's this? Mike. Sorry, but Mike will probably know. Like the Northeast, Wallenpaupack is a huge lake. We have a lot of big lakes in the Northeast. So I mean, who knows? Maybe in the fall and the spring, hauling boats back and forth to the lakes. I mean, there's a lot of different places we can bring it, and it's just finding the customer base and finding the niche that's going to work the best for me. That's going to be, that's going to be the most profitable.
Yeah, you got to keep us posted on the boats. I'm always interested when I hear boats on a car hauler. I know it's done. I don't know many that can do it, but I mean, it sounds like a pretty good. That's a pretty good niche right there. And people with boats have money, so you can't go wrong on that idea.
Yeah.
Of course, you're dealing with a very large baby, so. Right?
Yeah, I kind of figured if it goes on the trailer with a winch and I can get it on, if I can load it myself, then I load it myself. I'll haul it in the beginning and see what happens. I'm open. Going into a new venture, you have to be open. And, there's a lot more to it than, like, you see a lot of guys out there, and, I'm just going to go buy a truck, put stickers on the door, and go down the road. I'll tell you what, I learned, I gave myself about a month and a half of leeway. I'll tell you what, I'm using every bit of it, like learning things on, dealing with DOT, your IFTA, your authority, I incorporated. By the time you're done with all that stuff, you're going to need a month at least. And I mean, but you have to be prepared for everything when you go into a venture like this. It's a pretty big, it's probably a bigger undertaking than I originally thought it would be. And
right.
And I think I was pretty well prepared for it. Doing my homework. I've been looking at it for a long time, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot more to it than I thought. It's quite a bit.
There is a lot to it. Well, I was going to ask Ben. Ben, what do you do when you have, let's say you have a prospective customer but maybe they haven't done all of their homework. I'm sure you get a feel for that. Can you point them in a direction? What do you do?
So typically, so I don't do much in the new trailer sales, but I field in phone calls and I'll talk to them and I'll explain them, you know, hey, this is what I'm seeing in the market. You know, this is the feedback I'm getting from customers. You know, I ask them a lot of questions. You know, I have a great group of people here, you know, Brian and Eliza that have really, you know, fostered my knowledge in the business. So I ask, you know, the right questions for them, you know, and you know, what are you planning on hauling? What's your lanes? You know, what are you, you know, what kind of equipment are you looking to run? Well, you know, what kind of investment are you willing to make? And so I can give advice, you know, as far as, okay, I think this model would work best for you. You know, do some research on this model. Here are some options that I see that would be you know, beneficial to you. These are what guys that come in and they go, oh, I wish I would have ordered it with this. Okay, well, we can put it now, but it would have been nicer if, you know, like I would have thought I would have needed that, but now that I've been doing this, I need it. And so I give a lot of feedback into there, and usually I'll transfer them over to Eliza, or I'll transfer them to one of the dealers, and I'll have a quick conversation with them. Hey, this is what we talked about. This is kind of what I got out of the conversation, so that you're aware of it. But that's really it. It's all about asking the right questions. And it's all about, you know, trying to find the root that somebody needs. You know, what do they actually need? You know, and what do they want? What do they expect? And just listening and talking with and drawing knowledge from the people that are in the industry that I get to talk to every day, that are more than eager to share their knowledge with us. And so I can translate that to the other people to help them find the best fit for them.
Did you know that if you weren't sure, like maybe you feel like, gosh, this customer could really use a lot of input, but if I'm, you know, if I get too close to so much unknown territory, I run the risk of being maybe too involved, whereas, you know, I want to help, but I'm not sure how. Did you know that you could pass it over to Ty at ctsbusinesscoaching.com?
I do now.
All right. There we go. We got a segue. Hey, did you know that, Mike?
I did not. So I just learned something too, so it's all good.
So it is, and that's why, I mean, we're here to share not only war stories but information. So the fact is that Auto Transport Intel, in putting out all this content and having interviews and experts on the show, and even folks just getting started. I mean, that's the whole idea here, is to try and bring together a community ecosystem that, you know, runs the gamut, that if you need help and you need personal coaching to get started in the business, that's where ctsbusinesscoaching.com comes in. And I'm not the lead coach. I helped co-found that organization, but Ty is the lead coach. He's the guy. He actually gives his phone number out. He might even throw his phone number up here in the live chat in a minute. And he's crazy like that. If you call me, it goes to voicemail. I got to put the show together and try and organize, and I got meetings that I'm working on and stuff. But if you call Ty, he'll answer the phone, and he'll just start talking to you about, you know, trucks, trailers, and how to pull your hair out hauling cars.
You know, I have to say, you know, what Ben just said about, you know, his customers asking him questions, selling them the right equipment and stuff. That's what it's about with a company. And just like where I bought this trailer from, I called them up. And it's kind of funny because I call them up and like, hey, you have that Sun Country trailer there. You know, I want it. You know, the price is great. It looks awesome. I talk it to them, right? And the person selling the people selling the trailer was Wally Moe. Okay, and I wasn't even looking at Wally Moe trailers. I had no idea that they were a trailer builder. And then, but I was focused on Sun Country. But I gotta tell you, because of the customer service and the integrity of dealing with them, I would look at their trailers now, and taking care of your customers and really doing right by them. That's one of the biggest things manufacturers and dealers can do to gain new customers, maintain customers. Because, like I said, I wasn't even looking at their trailers. I was looking at strictly Sun Country, and after dealing with them and seeing how much integrity they have, and what kind of people they are, I would definitely look at them.
And you know what? And like you just said, and that's what's happening here is that, Ben, you know what's really cool is that you're taking the time to spend it with us tonight talking about your trailers. Aliza and Brian were here last week, and in talking to you guys, it's obvious that you guys have more than trailers for sale. You really are helping people. You're talking to them, finding out what kind of equipment they really need for what they're really trying to do, and then giving input and helping make the best decision they can. Because these trailers are an investment. We know that. I asked the question earlier, why don't you have a Sun Country trailer? And then one of the answers came up because, well, it's a significant outlay financially. And, well, it is. And there's a reason. Because it's made from excellent material. It's designed really well to last for years. And as we know from Aliza, after many years, it's still worth something. Actually, it's worth quite a bit. And that means a lot. This is not, we like to talk about, made in America, quality products. This is your quality product. This is, when we talk about, okay, is something new now? Is it made the way it used to be made? Sun Country trailers are made the way things used to be made. That's awesome.
And, like Sun Country, they have integrity. And, just like I was just talking, being a new guy in the business, the dealer I'm working with now, they could have raped me. I don't have a clue. I did my research and stuff, but I don't have a clue. And, what he charged me was a really good price. He could have charged me another $5,000-$6,000, no problem. Ripped me off, sold me the trailer, and threw me out the door. But but coming into this field, I'm realizing that there's a lot of integrity in the industry, and overall, the whole industry has a lot of great people in it. I like Chris from Pole Dog, great guy. I talk to him often. But the amount of information people share with each other, the honesty with how honest the guys are with one another, it's pretty amazing. I wasn't expecting it to go this way. I thought it would be more about like in the freight business and stuff like that. It's dog eat dog, and this is totally different. I see it coming from the outside coming in. Like I said, that guy could have ripped me off easy. These guys that I talk to that are in the business, they don't have to talk to me. Who am I? They don't know me. Why would they talk to me? But there's a lot of great people in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. The community's full of great people.
And Mike, you got a great deal on your trailer, didn't you? I know it was an investment, but you love that trailer.
Yeah, and the price was not my biggest factor. What my number one factor was, would it do what I wanted it to do and hit my target, and it's done that. And actually, the price was fantastic, knowing what the other OEMs are making and what even high mount trailers and stuff are selling for what I got, and the revenue it's returning, it's second to none. I absolutely pleased.
Oh, let me ask this. So what's next for your company name is MR Weaver Transport, Mr.
Yes.
Weaver. What's next for you guys? What are you looking to do next? Are you gonna get another one of these 7 cars, or kind of stay where you're at? And I don't know. Tell me more about your future.
Well, we had 3 trucks at one time. We only had 2. My brother has a custom Stinger steer as well. It was built by a small manufacturer in Indiana, and that is only a 4-car, also lays flat. So we both target the high-profile vehicles. Where are we going next? Good question. I have goals I want to do, but right now my kids are young. I definitely would like to target the enclosed market in the future. But right now I'm going to target the specialized market where I'm at, and slowly, because I'm a gearhead. So like Barrett Jackson and the other auctions out there, car collectors, that's where I want to be when I'm 50 years old. But right now, we're going to target the customers we have, and it's working fantastic. So right now, status quo is good, and I'm not, to answer that question, I'm not 100% sure what the next verse is. So,
yeah, no, I like that. Let me ask this. Are there things, given, there's a lot of changes happening right now, I think. Would you agree with that? Do you think there's a lot of changes happening?
I think there's always changes. The buyer is getting younger, so what's happening now is things are becoming more vertically integrated. So what you have previous to internet, things were very closed, very very non-open market. What you have now is a completely open market, and more so as time goes by, because everybody loves technology. And either you adapt and adjust with the movement of the industry as a whole, and not only the industry, but just the world we live in. Either you adapt and adjust with that, or you get left behind. And it is moving. Where technology is moving, it's really interesting. I mean, I've been watching where technology is moving with autos. I mean, we're definitely headed straight towards electric, wide open, good, bad, or indifferent. It's coming in commercial, and it's coming in vehicles. And so that'll be a shift, which people are already trying to scramble and adapt to that with Tesla and stuff like that. So it'll be we're at an interesting time. Vertical integration is a big deal, and it's coming pretty strong.
How do you stay informed about what's happening? What sources do you trust?
My customers.
Okay. What about external sources?
For me, external sources, I mean, I just watch the industry, watch what other people are doing, and you can, by the movement of what's happening. So as things shift, you can see it almost immediately. But as far as any other source, I don't have one.
No, that's cool. Ben, I feel like you were going to input something there.
With learning, one of the big things that we learn about what's going on with the industry is just by talking to our end users. I think communication, and we've talked, a lot about it tonight, the amount of dialogue that's coming. But there's certain things that people are willing to share. Like Mike was saying, electric is going to be huge. It really is. And the amount of cars being moved from individuals that have never seen the cars, the buying a car online is going to become more and more predominant. There's going to be, I think there's going to be a shift, and what is it actually going to look like? And I don't know yet, but that's where we get a lot of our information. We're involved with finished vehicle logistics. We're involved with the AHA, and those areas are great. Are great resources. But we rely a lot on what our end users are telling us.
So, and what we're talking about, I think, 2 big changes: customer buying subscription online, right? Where it's no longer, well, I don't mean no longer, but you're going to have more younger customers buying or leasing cars on an app, and then the cars just need to get delivered, and that directly ties into car shipping, which I think is very interesting, because I've seen some of these commercials, and No, I feel like it was a marketing person or an art designer that came up with the car hauler part, but I don't know if that's exactly how it's even close to what it's really going to look like. It's going to get very confusing because you're on these tight expectation timelines. I just ordered my car. Where is it? Just order. Well, no, I don't want that one anymore. I want this one now. It's going to get weird.
Yeah, I think that the whole Amazon mentality where you buy it and you're expecting it there in 2 days, how's it going to play out?
Where's Mike? Where's Mike? Where's Mike?
Yeah.
Where's Mike?
How's that going to play out? I don't know. We're all along for the ride, though.
It is. It's going to be really interesting. And so, yeah, I mean, how we stay informed of, because actually I tap into dealer, more and more dealer resources, and the car shipping component really isn't, it's not talked to. Right now it's the technology. It's the shiny side. It's the, what does the customer want, and when are we closing our dealership? And, as far as on the other thing I was going to say is traditional auto auctions, everybody won't be standing in the lane bidding. It'll be more and more online auction bidding, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what the increase of OVE online vehicle purchases is through the auctions that exist? What the increase has been over the last 10 years?
I don't.
It's thousands. It's up by 200% over what it was 10 years ago.
Right. It's kind of that man learned to walk for a couple thousand years to jet ski, right? Just straight up.
Yep.
Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. Well, and that's why I bring this stuff up, because if you don't know where to go to stay tuned, it's basically what you're getting information from TV and Facebook and some other locations, but you're not on that early adopter inside information. This is where we're really headed information. So I always like to ask people where are they getting their information, and do they trust it? Do you trust this information? Is that real?
I think it's a
You
real.
can always trust your customer. Yeah, we're all talking at once.
Go ahead, Mike.
What I was saying is you can always trust the end user, which is, in my case, the customer, and the consumer. So whatever their drive is to buy, whether that's the dealer or a personal guy or the corporation, you can always trust that, because that's the real deal. Everything else is smoke and screen. The end user is the real deal.
I like what you said. So without naming names or companies, what category or type of end user consumer are we talking about? Dealers, auctions, what
all the above.
All of the above.
So in my case, I do not deal directly with the auctions. I deal directly with the dealer and corporations and private individuals, collectors / buyers. And so in my case, it's mostly corporation and some smaller dealers, but they're all moving rapidly in the online direction. So it's a whole new world, and the buyers are younger, just like we talked about. It's moving quick.
I think the recent Tesla is in the news every day, so it's very hard to follow what in the heck is going on with Tesla. But I think if you follow it every day, what we have noticed is there's been a lot of waffling of we're going to close dealerships, we're not going to close dealerships. Okay, no, we're really going to close half of them. No, we're not going to close. The point is that they're trying to figure, and they're not alone. They're just the visible ones. What does this look like? What does the future of dealerships look like? How many stores? How many stores do we need? How many stores do we not need? How much inventory do we need? How many salespeople do we need? How much virtual reality do we need? Right?
Yeah. I don't think they'll never go away. You will always have those people that got to see it, got to put their hands on it, got to touch it.
I agree.
But will there be...
Look at all your storefronts closing. I mean, it's going to shift. Who knows where that'll all play out? I agree with both sides of it, but look at it. I mean, your cheapest place for a warehouse right now is a storefront. because of that exact thing. Because, hey, I can buy anything I want here in 2 seconds from my phone. Why would I go to the store?
Well, and there's and brick and mortar. Just look at so many brick and mortar stores that have either downsized or closed. And there's your answer. And I think that even Elon Musk was saying that even if you went to the dealership, he still expected you to order through your app, which had benefits because now if you do everything through your app from start to finish, then the app is literally your sales agent instead of a person. But then again, I know Ty likes to talk about how the Best Buy example where people would go to Best Buy, learn the product, go home, and order it on Amazon.
I've done that exact thing. Absolutely.
I think we all probably have.
And that's definitely going to play into, absolutely. People are going to go test drive. So like CarMax, how many people go to CarMax? And, just to get a hands-on, TrueCar, CarMax, whatever it is, go to get the hands-on, and then they go home, and then they order it on their phone.
Yeah, I don't have the answer to that.
And how does that affect car shipping? Right? Is this all just... It will have an effect. I think it's the timeline. It's the time frame. So if you're the guy that can, and this is something I know Ty and I have talked about, if you're the guy that answers his phone all the time and delivers as fast as possible and controls an area, now you have a commodity. You have something that's really important to today's consumer.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So maybe that's one of the areas of focus. Not to get distracted of is it an electric truck or is it a robot, or just know that. And how funny is it that ELD doesn't want you to do that? I'm sorry, but
right.
I think that's true. I'm still waiting for the FMCSA to improve the hours of service regulations. I'm still waiting for that. And
They're working on it, but
I was there when
they're working on it.
I know, but I was there when Elaine Chao told the group at the Mid-America Truck Show that it was being considered, had been moved on to the next proposal of proposals and proposals and proposals. And I understand everything has a process, but as people hearing that language, it felt very dissatisfying and confusing. So I'm hoping and praying, pretty pleased with sugar on top, that something good happens out of the hours of service regulation updates.
Yep.
And I don't even drive.
And adjust to the changing format. Yeah. It's all as a small carrier, you can always adapt and adjust faster than a big carrier. Always have been able to, and always will be able to, because your assets are only so deep. A big carrier is many vehicles deep, so you can always move faster if you're financially stable than a big carrier can. So it's easy to adapt and adjust with a moving target.
Right.
Yeah, and implement new processes and procedures really helps when your volume's small.
Right. So there's your benefit as an owner operator, smaller hauler, sub-hauler, subcontractor. You can help the larger companies speed up, pick up the pieces faster. Maybe if there was a mistake, a wrong delivery, you can help turn that around faster, whereas, it
happens all the time.
I'm sure. Well,
I haul for all the big transporters in the United States. I haul for every single one of them. Pick up their loose ends that their guys can't get done. They pay me handsomely for it. Quite happy to do it.
So it's all about networking, right? Have you guys gotten
Yep.
pretty good at networking, haven't you?
Well, it took many years. It takes a long time to figure it all out, but that'll all get easier as technology gets better. Your hands-on stuff will go down, and your technology will go up. And if you can deliver on a promise the same way it's always been in business, you'll excel.